So good afternoon again. So today's class, what we will do is go through the remaining presentations as well as the past paper homework. And I'm going to teach review four topics that we have covered already. As you all may know that we actually finished the syllabus. So it's all about practice, especially paper ones. By the way, as you all know already, you all will be getting your paper 2 exam as normal because HSB doesn't have a SBA component. So you have to earn your marks in the paper 2 as well. All right. So we will actually be doing that demo test on the CXC website as well. We'll see how much we can do in this class session. So first I will start off with the group tuberculosis. This brochure was really nice. The layout was really nice. I like the text, the font. So let's hear what they have to say about tuberculosis. By the way, the symptoms and signs for this disease is very similar to the coronavirus, and it is a respiratory disease. It targets your respiratory tract. So let me get the audio for this. All right, so the group member for tuberculosis was Sophia and Saravana and Daniela. So I'm going to play the audio. You all listen and hear what they have to say about this disease. Because it can come for your exam. Who knows?
Group 1 Tuberculosis. Prepared by Sophia Tulsi, Saravana Muhammad, and Daniela Chop. Tuberculosis. What is tuberculosis? Tuberculosis, also known as TB, is the world's leading cause of death from a single infectious disease with a total estimation of 1.5 million deaths. TB is a potentially serious infectious disease that mainly affects parts of the respiratory system, such as lungs, kidney, the brain, and the spine. What are some symptoms of tuberculosis? Chills, fever, night sweats, weight loss, chest pain, coughing up blood or mucus, coughing 3 weeks or longer, feeling very weak or tired, as well as not having to eat. Fun facts about tuberculosis. 1. World Tuberculosis Day is on March 24th. 2. It is estimated that 2 billion people worldwide are infected with tuberculosis. 3. Each year, nearly 9 million people in the world become sick with tuberculosis disease, and almost 1.5 million deaths are attributed to tuberculosis. How it is caused or spread. Tuberculosis is caused by bacteria that spread from person to person through microscopic droplets released into the air. This can happen when someone with the untreated active form of tuberculosis coughs, speaks, sneezes, spits, laughs, or sings. Although tuberculosis is contagious, it is not easy to catch. How it is prevented or controlled. Tuberculosis may be prevented by persons affected covering their mouth after they sneeze or cough, or if a person has a healthy life and contains a good immune system. How is TB diagnosed? TB can be diagnosed through serious tests. 1. Blood test. 2. Imaging test. 3. Stool test. If positive to the imaging test of TB blood test, only tells that a person has been infected with TB bacteria. It does not disease can be treated by taking several drugs for 6 to 9 months. There are 10 drugs currently approved by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration (FDA) for treating TB. Of the approved drugs, the first-line anti-TB drugs that form the core of the treatment regimens are ionizing INH, rifampin RIF, and camptothecol PMD, niacinamide PZA. Thanks for listening, and I hope this information was useful.
Okay, I believe that was the end of the presentation for this group. I must say that I'm trying to make out the third person's voice, and that person spoke very, very softly, so I could barely hear. Sophia, who did the treatment and how was TB diagnosed? That person, who is it? Oh, that's Daniela. Next time you're sending the recording, talk a little louder so that when I play it for the class, everyone can hear. So what I will do, I obviously will send you all these brochures. Now what you all have to learn, now this is good notes to have at hand, apart from the notes that I sent, because this is telling you the symptoms and bullet points. They're giving you all a synopsis. Now the treatment, I notice a lot of people actually put in the names of the drugs. For your exam purposes, you all will not remember these names at all. A very easy treatment for these kind of drugs, for these kinds of diseases, is to know what is actually causing the disease. So once you know tuberculosis is caused by a bacteria, all you have to write for treatment is antibiotics. If you know the disease is caused by a virus, you put antiviral drugs. You don't have to give us the medical names of the drugs, because believe it or not, you will not be able to remember this name nor spell it. So don't even think of learning these here. All we need to know is antibiotics, antivirals, antifungals, and that's about it in terms of treatment. All right? Okay, so the other group, I was sent syphilis. Do we have the syphilis group members today? Let's see who is in syphilis group. Syphilis was done by, okay, so Christian, Duki, Mamadou, Ayushman. Well, I know for sure Mamadou actually told me that he would have presented by himself. So, is he present today? Yes, he is. Mamadou, can you unmute your mic and present your syphilis brochure to us?
Wait, miss, the ones who are disqualified still gotta present?
Yes, I spoke to your mom and she told me that she wanted you all to still actually perform and submit something regardless you all were disqualified, because she find it very wrong that you all didn't even do the exercise in the first place.
Okay.
Give me 10 minutes, miss. All right, so we're giving Mamadou 10 minutes. The other group, was it oh, by the way, lepto and gastro, this group actually I have to show you all something. It's very easy to go on the internet, go and type in leptospirosis brochure and get one right off the internet and bring it to me. Do you all recognize this? If I go on images, you all seeing this brochure here? Guess what? Somebody just take this whole thing wholesale and they presented this for us. So this group, Alicia, Sarenta, Jabari, you all will have to be disqualified because you all actually did not come up with your own brochure. You all stole one from the internet. All right, look at the klepto here. Same writing, same picture, same information. So that's not working for marks at all. Very disappointed in you guys. Dengue and malaria, right. This group did not present us. The members of this group were Dominique, Hannah, Nathan. So is there any group members present? All right, they're on. We have I'm not seeing Dominique again. Okay, so therefore we will Mamadou, when you are ready to present, you let me know. All right? Somebody busy typing a message. All right, so I will just move on. When you're all ready, you all let me know. The brochures will be sent to you all. This is nice notes, ready at hand notes for you all to go through. And you all already was sent the disease presentation as well. So you have my notes and you have your students, the classmates' notes as well. All right, so what we will go through now is the homework. So let me get the homework screen. So in case you all forgot, HSB, paper 1, June 2009. Now for those who did not buy the booklet from school, let me show you all how to access it. All you're going on, you all by now know how to go to Google Drive. So I don't have to show the tutorial on how to get to Google Drive. But when you arrive at Google Drive and you go with shared with me, you go to your subjects, you go to HSB, you see all these files popping up. Go to CXE resource. Now those who purchase the book, all you don't have to go through this. You go to subjects, you go to the your academic year 2020, you go under HSB. Now you go into HSB past papers. So all those who did not buy your paper 1 book, here it is. Now unfortunately, these past papers is not the best quality. The ones that I made available for the class, I actually edited it, went through it, take my liquid paper and neaten up all the little blotchiness. There were wrong answers in this booklet, so I actually take it off. So this quality will not be the best quality to use. Also you will notice like the order of this one is different than the order of the ones who purchase the booklet from class. All right. So therefore you just have to be looking through and look at the bottom of the paper, or you look through the paper to see the year of the paper. So the homework past paper that we are going to correct is June 2009. So let me look for that one. So yes, like I said, you will see the year written somewhere on the paper. So you have to just scroll through and look. So you all see where to get the paper, right? That is for those who did not purchase the book again. And there's a bunch of other paper ones that I have to give you all as practice as well. So let's go through that 2009. So those who have the book hard copy, take out your 2009 paper 1. Those who have it soft copy, feel free to open the file and locate that past paper. And let me know if question 1 begins with which of the following activities is a characteristic of all living things. Let's ensure that everyone have the same question. So for those who just logged on, we are looking at paper 1, June 2009. Okay, you all saying the question different? All right, so let me open our next file just to make sure. Is a question with bacteria, all right. I'll find it, don't worry. Because some past papers, there's June 2009, then there's Jan 2009, and then there's specimen 2009. So it could be very confusing. And paper ones are very difficult to get. June 2005. This is 2006 here, 2006. Yeah, so those who actually bought the hard copy version, you all would have gotten it a little more organized than this one. Two thousand seven. 2007. 2007. 2008. And it's mixed up. You see 2007 and 2008. 2010. Jan to 2010. And these questions wrong, huh? Okay, I guess it's Jan 2009. Oh, okay. Not that one. So therefore that is June 2009. That was the homework. Jan. Okay, not finding that paper. 2009. I'll have to use my booklet then. So unfortunately, the 2009 is not in the soft copy version. I may have to double check and see. We already corrected up to 40. All right. Well, that will make it easier then. All right. Could someone just type out what is question 1? Is it? Now I'm seeing specimen 2000. I just want to ensure if it's this question, if it's just paper. If not, I'm going to get my booklet. I just sorry for those who don't have the booklet. What I will do is I will take a picture of it. I will take a picture and send it to the WhatsApp group. And then I will share to my screen so that whoever don't have the question, they could still see it.
Miss, say which of the
Which of the following is true about bacteria? All right. Right, so that's June 2009. I found my one in my booklet. All right, so let me see who was the best option now. Luckily for technology, we find ways to get the question. Now, by the way, I saw that we corrected up to question 40. All right, so we continue with 40 to 60. So I'm just taking pictures of those. Next time I will select a question from the soft copy so that everybody will be able to see it. And what we will do, we will have to get every past paper on soft copy so that everyone will be able to see from it. Hearing somebody television set. Okay, so it's sent here on WhatsApp. All right, so we started with 40. No, they wouldn't be able to see this. Let me download it.
Miss, what number? You say it's starting at 40?
We corrected 1 to 40 in class, so we're just going to do 41 to 60 online. Do you have answers for 1 to 40?
Yes, miss.
Great. Okay, so let's correct 41. A cell is described as being diploid when, use the chat or unmute your mic. Diploid, by the way, means you have 2 sets of chromosomes. So therefore the answer is okay, so let me explain. A lot of you all are getting this one wrong. Diploid means you have 1 set from your mother, 1 set of chromosomes, which is 23, and you also have 23 chromosomes from your father. So therefore, the answer here is it has a full number of chromosomes because diploid means 23 plus 23 equals 46, and that's a full number of chromosomes to have. So C, 41 is C. Any volunteer to read 42?
An example of a degenerative disease is arthritis.
B, arthritis, yes.
Yeah.
Degenerate means the body over time, as you get older, it degenerates or it weakens. 43, somebody else.
Me, miss.
Go ahead.
Which of the following types of organism caused by tuberculosis? D.
D, very good, bacterium. That is what we just covered with Sophia's group. 40. Anyone?
44.
Sorry, 44. Samaya, you want to read that one?
Miss, which row? Sorry.
It's okay.
Which row in the table below shows the correct indicator sign of dengue, flu, and gonorrhea? I believe is B.
All right, so with dengue, well, we all know cholera will have rapid dehydration because you have diarrhea when you have cholera. So you're going to be dehydrated. Gonorrhea, it's a pus discharge. So we're looking for one with rapid pus discharge. And for dengue, you have a low platelet count. So the answer there is C. If you didn't know about the platelet count, you could use what you know about cholera and gonorrhea and just use a process of elimination. You find the one that have the answers correct under cholera and gonorrhea, and then we see dengue is low platelet count. This is also something that happens for people who suffer from dengue. Platelets is responsible for blood clotting, and what happens is the virus attacks the platelets, so therefore you have a low amount of it in the blood. Okay, Mamadou, let's finish off these questions and then you'll present. All right, next one. 45. Let me zoom in. Worst quality ever, I know. For who have the booklet, it's better than the soft copy, I would say. All right. I will read this one because it's very blotchy. Good health may best be described as
C.
C, state of complete physical. So you have to have a good physical, social and mental well-being. That is the proper definition of health. C. 46. Sterilization involves
Must be
thorough cleaning of surroundings. Well, sterilization is the removal of microorganisms. So once you sterilize it, you're killing all microorganisms, meaning viruses, bacteria, fungi. So yes, thorough cleaning of the surroundings. Boiling is a type of sterilization method, but it's not a, when you talk about sterilization, it means sterilizing the entire environment, not just water or not just one particular area. Overall sanitization, in other words. So D. 47. The Aedes aegypti mosquito is known for the transmission of
A. Dengue.
dengue. Very good.
Yeah.
What is cause gastro? What is the vector for gastro? Flies, right? All right, very good. Flies. What is the vector for malaria?
Anopheles mosquito.
Anopheles mosquito. Very good. So it's a different type of mosquito. And what about cholera?
Bacteria.
Bacteria again. Good. You all sure? Let me go back to the brochure. Or I could just type in disease causing agent for cholera. So it's a bacteria. So how to treat it? You use antibiotics. So that is what I was explaining before for those who didn't log on. If you're talking about treatment, you don't have to go and memorize all these pharmaceutical drug names because it's very long names, scientific names. You don't need to know it. You just have to know if it's caused by a bacteria, you use antibiotics. If it is caused by a virus, you use antiviral drugs. If it's caused by a fungus, you use antifungal drugs. Okay, 48. What inference can be drawn from this graph? So you have rat increasing, the number of rats. While that increasing, the persons who suffering from leptospirosis also increasing. So let's see. What answer you all have for that? 48B, you all said B. Rats might cause leptospirosis in humans. Yes, that's the best answer. B. If you read through the others, it's not making sense. Humans don't cause lepto, rats don't suffer from lepto either. Leptospirosis always in, no. 49. Different anti-sera are needed to destroy. So look at this word, anti-sera. So this is also a drug needed to destroy each type of influenza virus. This best illustrates that antibodies are. So if you go and buy an anti-sera from the drugstore, that means it is not your own body producing the antibodies. And antibodies are produced by the lymphocyte, which is the white blood cells. So it is not your own antibodies. You're using it from a different source. So if you're using it from a different source, therefore you're getting it passively. B, correct. 50. Drugs are prescribed by doctors who to induce sleep are called. You all said sedatives. Very good. Correct. So when someone is sedated, they are put to sleep. All right. 51. The most harmful effect on humans due to the improper disposal of refuse is. 51 is
C.
exposure to pathogens. Yeah, because pathogens cause diseases. 52. Which of the following stages in the water purification process involves formation of an acid which destroys microorganisms? Chlorination, and the acid name is chloric acid. So when you apply chlorine to the water, it forms chloric acid, and that will destroy bacteria, virus, fungus, protozoa that lives in the water. 53. The most effective way of purifying water in the home is boiling and chlorination. Yes, the answer is A. I believe I had mentioned boiling and freezing is also an effective way. However, if you freeze water, it just turns into ice. Now, a lot of microorganisms do not live in cold temperatures. However, if you're purifying water, you want to purify it for drinking purposes, cooking purposes. So you don't want to freeze it, because then all you're doing is making it turn into ice, which the only use of ice is to keep things cold or in your drinks. So therefore A would have been the most effective way, because with chlorination you could just purchase these chlorine tablets in any pharmacy, any little convenience store, and you put it in your container of water and it's purified. So A is the answer for that one. Next one, we did these. 54. Ashamed to actually send this to you all into the group. Look at how horrible the soft copy looks. 54. Which of the following I can't even make it out. Let me look at my book. Result from the activities of human. Again, answers before I finish. C, you all said, which of the following? Pollution of water and decrease in fish. What about loss of potable water? Potable water means water that you use in homes, usable water. So you use it to drink as well. So won't it not be all of them? D, 1, 2, and 3. Human activities do affect the fish production as well, because from oil spills, from fertilizers running off into the water, from garbage being disposed in. So all of them, you all, 54 is D. Don't know why you all selected other options there. 55. Which of the following may result from untreated sewage? Definitely, it is cause cholera and typhoid. It is cause eutrophication. It is cause pollution of water, destruction of living organisms such as coral reefs. So all of them again. Remember sewage, if it's untreated and it is discharged out into oceans and seas, that could remain in the ocean for a very long time. It could cause, since it have a lot of nutrients in it, it could cause algae to grow over the river, which is eutrophication. It pollutes the water. Since it have bacteria in it, it will cause cholera and typhoid, and it will affect the organisms in the ocean. So all of them. 55 is D, yeah. 56. Which of the following stages are involved in the biological filter method for sewage treatment? So they're talking about the biological filter method. Does you all know with one tank alone? So residual matter is dried and used to make methane. Screening of large objects. Stones covered with aerobic bacteria and protozoa which feed on organic matter. Compress air supplies oxygen in aeration tank for aerobic bacteria. 1, 2, and 3. That's now. What answer you all have for 56? No, it looks like all of them, but when you look at the last one, compressed air supplies oxygen and aeration tank for aerobic bacteria, this is actually a step that is mostly seen in the activated sludge method. So I will actually change. I think I did this one already and I said D. But when you read through the aeration tank, remember biological filter method is one tank. So therefore it's 1, 2, and 3, C. Yes, C. '57. Pollution is best described as the
contamination of land, water, and air by harmful substances.
Yeah. D. Which of the following are benefits of recycling? '58. It reduces the amount of energy. Well, definitely 1 and 2 is answers because it causes less pollution and environmental degradation. It prevents depletion of reserves of natural resource. It reduces the amount of energy used. Right. So number 58, what we were saying is the benefits of recycling. You will have less pollution. You will prevent depletion of reserves of the environment. You will reduce the amount of energy because if you're reusing and recycling products into new things, there's no need to actually apply energy to gather the resources to keep making new products. However, the last one is not a benefit. It increases cost of production, not at all. It will decrease cost of production because you don't have to keep mass producing products. So the answer there was 1, 2, and 3, which is D. All right, last multiple choice. Sorry, 59. A substance is biodegradable if it... I only get answers from one student. 59B can be broken down by bacteria to harmless materials. Yes. Biodegradable, bio means living. So you're using the living microorganisms to break it down. Last one, I want a reader for 60.
Which of the following are causes of water pollution?
Right,
So that will be
the answer there. Dumping of rubbish, yes. Release of chemicals, yes. Discharge of water from sewage, all of them. D. Correct, yes. Right, so Mamadou, now is your turn to present your topic. Let me get your brochure.
Miss, can you hear me?
Yes, but let me get your brochure before you start. So, syphilis. By the way, you should have done it on Microsoft Word. You know there's a brochure option in Microsoft Word?
Nope.
Yes, there is. What about Christian? You seeing anything?
I haven't been able to get hold of him since the quarantine.
I'm seeing him here.
Yeah, I put all their names there.
Duki, did you did anything with your presentation?
I mean, I'm sure he has his information. If he was here, he would be saying it.
All right. So what do you take it away? Let me do I have to zoom in or is it good there?
It's fine. I have my own here too.
All right. So when you're ready.
Biology I was given was syphilis. Syphilis is a sexually transmitted disease, but it can't only be transmitted by sexual contact. It can be transmitted by blood contact. It can be transmitted by blood contact. Let's say or contact by skin or by surface. Let's say someone made contact with an infected person, right? Their hands are dirty from it, like they have blood stains on it, or they have fluids from the body fluids from that person. If those body fluids get onto you or enter any of your pores or openings in your skin as your nose, eyes, mouth, you can become infected. That's one way to get it other than sexually transmitted, other than sexual contact. Another way to get it is by being born with it. Let's say, for an example, your mother has it, and while you're being born, you can either get it while you're in the uterus or while you're in the process of coming out of the uterus. So those are the ways that you can get it. The first stage of syphilis is bumps. They don't hurt. They don't particularly hurt. They don't do any damage. You wouldn't even notice them unless you were looking. They're small, they're painless. They don't last for a long time. They last up to like 3 weeks and then they disappear. Now that's like the first stage of bumps. After there's a second stage of bumps. Now the second stage of bumps can appear as a red rash, multiple red rashes because it grows over time. Red rashes, small bumps full of pus, small red bumps, small smoother bumps that aren't filled with pus. That's the secondary stage. Now the third stage, there are two forms to the third stage. Okay, let's say you have syphilis for a year. For your first year, you're having syphilis. The syphilis would technically be active, and during that time, it would be flowing through the blood, still infecting organs. Now, when the syphilis is dormant, this is when the symptoms wouldn't show as much as in the first year, but like you're still infected. So the symptoms won't be showing, but the virus is still there. Now, there is a cure for syphilis. Syphilis has cures, and it is curable. Now, if you don't cure it for a long period of time, it could do damage to your internal organs. Even if you get cured, you can be infected again. There's no immunity to it. The body doesn't gain an immunity to syphilis. So what is recommended and what was recommended by the government and the health, the health industry for the government is that you wear condoms. Now, condoms will protect you from the infected areas, from the areas that syphilis has infected. But if the condom is not protecting a certain area that syphilis is, let's say a certain part of the skin is infected, right? And the condom can't protect you from that. You will still be able to get it. The condom protects the main genital part, but you can still get infected from it. The chances of it, though, are lower. Right. Yeah, that's about it, miss.
All right, thanks a lot. Okay, now what's missing here is pictures.
Yes, you don't want to see the pictures. Don't even, please. You don't want to see those. They're
Now
terrible.
you all are very smart. You all know how to use the internet. And
Yes,
the thing
I
with,
promise.
oops, let me go back to my screen. Sorry. All right, so it was very easy for me to select the first and second and third place, because a lot of you were disqualified for different reasons. For instance, not meeting the deadline, not presenting, and for stealing brochures of the internet. It's very easy for a teacher just to type in syphilis brochure and get the template that you all used. And that was not what I wanted for your exercise. I wanted you all to actually research the disease, come up with the information, reword the information, design your own template using Word. You just go and create brochure. So it's easy for me just to type this in and just to see if you all got it online. So for this one, it is also a template that I found online. All right. Sorry. Syphilis. So all I have to do is type in syphilis brochure. And go on images. And look at this. Wait now. Is it John Palomar who came up with this, or was it Mamadou? Because according to Google, I'm seeing someone else created this brochure. So right, anyone who was found stealing templates or brochures from the internet will automatically be disqualified. This is not your creation. This is not your work. You could steal anyone's work and come and reread it to me. That is not putting in any effort at all. So it was very, very, very easy to select the first, second, and third place for this group assignment. And the results will be posted next week. Now, to collect your prizes, that will have to be till the college reopens and you all could actually go into the school. You will get to collect your prizes. All right. All right. So moving on. Any questions so far?
Miss, what are the prizes?
The prizes were Starbucks gift card and the Starbucks mugs, the kind of jugs, and I can't remember the third place. But next week you all will I will let you all know who came first, second, and third. Okay, so let us review some topics. Now I will send you all the concise notes that I made for these topics. So you don't have to rush down any notes or anything right now. You just listen, and then we are going to do some paper to practice as well. So we're starting back with the syllabus. Yes, we will correct the other part of the homework, but I want to teach a topic. I kind of mix things up in the class. I don't just be monotonous and, I know a lot of you might fall asleep. So let's teach a little. Okay. So back to term 1, we did, and this will benefit all those who came into CTS and joined later down the line in term 2. All right. So characteristics of a living organism, we looked at something called grimna. We basically removed the word and we just learned the letters and form an acronym to remember what is the 7 characteristics. Now you all should be able to define what each of these life characteristics or processes are, because we actually looked at each one in greater detail in section B of the syllabus. So growth involves mitosis and meiosis. Mitosis is a type of cell division which creates new cells. Meiosis is creation of new cells as well, replacing old cells, damaged cells. But meiosis is with the sex cells alone. Mitosis is with the body cells. And this is a form of growth because once you are increasing the number of cells in the body, you will grow in size. Respiration involves aerobic and anaerobic. Irritability involves the nervous system. Movement involves the skeletal system. Nutrition involves photosynthesis, and heterotrophic nutrition, which is digestion. This was a very lengthy topic. All right. Excretion involves how urine is made and how it is removed. Reproduction involves the 2 forms of reproduction, asexual and sexual. So going back to what a cell is, it's the basic unit of a living organism, meaning it's the smallest living thing in a cell. Now, a cell comprises of organelles. Organelles are even smaller than a cell because these are the structures that you all learned that is inside of the cell. And each of these organelles have a different function and different structure in terms of its shape. Can someone tell me some examples of organelles found in either the animal, plant, bacterial cell? What are some examples?
Chloroplast.
Chloroplast, nucleus, yeah. Ribosomes, very good. So by now you all should have that diagrams, of the cells. You all should envision it and be able to label it as well. So basically this was the first week, term 1. I made you all drew these cells, animal, plant. We looked at every single organelle inside of it, and we actually went through the functions. So this was a table that you all learned, spelling, as well as the functions of each cell. All right, make sure you go through those things. So a virus is not considered a cell. Why? Because it does not carry out grimna. Once it is outside of the body, it will last a couple days, and if it enters a body of an animal, plant, human, etc., then it can be able to carry out most of these characteristics. So then it becomes alive. But outside the body, it is not alive. Fungus have a very similar structure to the plant cell because it have a cell wall. Let me get back the fungus. We cannot, don't really study fungus too much, but fungus have the same kind of things. It have the vacuole, cell wall, cell membrane, nucleus, food storage granule, cytoplasm. So it's kind of similar to the plant cell. Now differences between the plant and animal. Plant cell have a large permanent vacuole. So if you look at the diagram, there's one vacuole, which is this white area here. The vacuole in the animal cell tend to be small and tend to be numerous. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4. These are temporary, meaning they could disappear and reappear in a different location. Also, plant cells have a cell wall. Animal cells don't. Fungus have a cell wall, and one other cell have a cell wall, which is, tell me, which other cell have a cell wall beside plants and fungus? Is it the virus or is it the, yes, it's the bacteria have a cell wall. Very good. Now we looked at something called single cell or unicellular organisms. Single cell means there's only one cell. So if something is only one cell, it is a microscopic organism or a microbe or microorganism. So these are bacteria, amoeba, protozoa, fungi. There are some fungi that is made up of many cells, like mushrooms, for instance. Multicellular, however, multi means many. So plants and animals have many cells. So they are more complex and larger in size. They are not microscopic. You could actually see these things with the naked eye. Now you all learned different types of cells in the body. We had the epithelial cell. The epithelial cell is this diagram here. So you have the cytoplasm, the nucleus. Cilia is like a little hair-like structure. This is increase the surface area here, and also it cleans out any tract. So your respiratory tract have these kinds of cells because the cilia is what sweeps off dust, bacteria, viruses from entering our lungs. Good so far? The epithelial cell is also found in the lining of tissues. So your digestive tract, your respiratory tract. Another type of cell you all learned was the sex cells, the sperm and the egg cell. So the structure of the sperm, you have the head. The head comprised of a acrosome, that red area there. And we have that nucleus, which is important for fertilization. The middle piece have mitochondria. That allows the sperm cell to get energy so that it can swim using the tail. And the plasma membrane is also known as the cell membrane. So the cell membrane is the outer rim. All right. The egg cell looks like this. You have different layers. You have that outer layer here. This is the barrier of the cell where the million of cells tend to destroy in order for fertilization to even occur. All right, so we're just going through the cells that's found in the body. The nerve cell again. Now, when we did the nervous system, we realized there are 3 different types of neurons in the body. Now, this particular nerve cell, can anyone tell me which one is this? We have the cell body at the top. There's a clue.
As the axion. But I don't want to say the wrong thing.
Well, you can type it privately. Okay, so someone said this is the motor. Actually, now we have the cell body at the top. So remember, we have the sensory neuron, we have the motor neuron, and we have the relay neuron. So let me get that diagram up. Types of neurons. So this is important to learn. The one that has the cell body at the top, I think this was the one that I gave you all, is the motor. The one that have the cell body at the side or along the axon is the sensory. The one that looks like branches is the relay. All right, so this was actually in the note. Unipolar nerve cell, we don't have to learn those types. We just have to know relay, motor, and sensory. So this particular one that was in the note here was the motor neuron because the cell body is at the top. All right. We looked at 3 types of muscle cells: skeletal, smooth, cardiac. Skeletal muscles are found around your bones. Smooth muscles is found inside of the body, around organs, in your tracts, digestive tracts. Cardiac muscle was only one location you could find this muscle, which is the what? Which organ do you find cardiac muscle? The heart. Didn't really hear what you said, but the human heart, right? Nerve cell, what is this found in the CNS and the PNS? Thank you. Now we have a definition here. You have to learn cell specialization or cell differentiation. Since we went through all these diagrams here, you notice that not every cell looks like this structure here, the animal cell. Every cell have a different shape, size, and function. So therefore, they are specialized to play a particular role in the body. So if you're a nerve cell, your role is to transmit messages. So your body is going to be designed in a certain way to do the particular function. So that is what you call cell specialization or cell differentiation. Every cell is different. There are certain cells in the body, like stem cells, that can change its structure to suit wherever it is placed. So if you place it next to muscle cells, it could look like a muscle cell. So it differentiates its body. The makeup of the organism, well, the smallest, from smallest to largest, we have cells first. That's the smallest thing. So similar cells make tissues. Look at the word similar or same. Cells make tissues. Different tissues make up organs. Different or many organs that work together make up systems. And when you have all your systems functioning properly and carrying out its role, it makes a living organism. So that is the level of organization in the body, or the makeup of an organism, from smallest to largest. All right, so that was the first topic we did in HSB. I will send this. Now I did these in using words, so you all could type in. Now you all have to get in the hang of typing now, since you all will be doing your paper 2 online, as well as your paper 1. Your paper 2, you all will still have to type. So I actually made these in PDF, not PDF, in Word documents. So feel free to add to your notes if you want to add in more information to it when you're revising. This is a good template to use. Right, so let's go back to correcting some more homework, and then I'll do photosynthesis. So the other homework was what? 2015. We'll correct that paper and then we'll go on a break. We'll correct the first 30 and then go on a break. Christian, I don't know what S and M means. Huh? Yo, let me know what that means. I have no clue. And people, all they can write all the shorthand thing in all the exam pages, beer. Or they write all the full sentence like normal, except for they type in it. And there's no spell check. Nah. No. No, I take it out because I'm gonna wash it. Yeah. Miss, it's say no more. Okay, all right, say no more. Well, I learned something there. All right, so we're going to correct 2015. Take out all the past paper. I don't think I have this in soft copy. Okay, 2015. Let me take pictures of this. While I'm taking pictures of the first 30 questions, can someone take out from 31 to 60 and send it on the group? This is speed things up. All right. So you all saw how important it was to purchase the book when you all had the opportunity to do so. Okay, number one. So I want students from the class to read the question, number one. If you have the book or if you want to look at the screen.
The process by which living organisms get energy from their food is respiration.
Correct. Two.
So that'll be A. Which of the following organisms have
The
cells?
process by which living organisms get energy from the food is B, respiration. Now nutrition deals with food. Now when you eat food, you have to break it down to get the energy from it. So therefore you're going to use oxygen to do that, which is respiration. All right, one is B. Number two.
Which of the following organisms have cellulose cell walls as part of their structure? So that'll be A. That'll be fungi and plants.
Yes, bacteria have cell wall, but not made out of cellulose. It's made out of another material. Three. Let's hear from Adonai. Well then, if I not hear him, I'm going to take him off the meeting. Let me see. Remove. Let's hear from Bala.
Miss, can you repeat that?
So you're reading question 3 for us.
During osmosis, the movement of water molecules through the semi-permeable membrane continues until A, the amount of water molecules is equalized on both sides. B, the hydrostatic pressure equals the osmotic pressure. C, the osmotic pressure equals the osmotic potential. D,
Turgidity.
Turgidity and flaccidity are equal. It's A.
Answer is A. The amount of water molecules is equalized on both sides. Number 4, let's hear from Shalanda.
The amount of energy in food chains decreases at each trophic level because Miss B.
So it decreases. So let's see. D said that there are less organisms. Respiration occurs. Well, respiration do release energy. The organisms are more active. No, not 3. So you're looking for 1 and 2. A. Yeah. Number 5. Let's hear from Charlotte. Not hearing from Charlotte at all. Send a message, please, if you are with us. Okay, Huda, can you read question 5?
Microorganisms are an important part of the nitrogen cycle. Which of the following microorganisms contribute directly to nitrate buildup in a soil? A?
Must that be A?
Yes. So which of the following microorganisms contribute directly to nitrate buildup in the soil? Well, nitrifying convert nitrate to nitrite, or nitrite to nitrate, or ammonium or ammonia to nitrate. So really and truly, nitrogen fixing bacteria is what converts nitrogen gas to nitrate alone, nothing else. So D. Which of the following foods would best prevent constipation?
C, Miss.
Fruits and vegetable salad because of the fiber in it, yes. Roughage and fiber is needed to prevent constipation because it allows a smooth flow of the stool. Next one. 7. Which of the following reagents gives a positive test for the main food present in slice of baked potato? So first thing I'd ask yourself, what food group is potato? It's a starch. So if you have starch, you use iodine solution to test to see if starch is present. C. Ethanol is used for fats. Butyrate is used for protein. Benedict is used for reducing sugar. Kwashiorkor is Kwashiorkor is a deficiency disease caused by a lack of B protein. Number 9. Which part label A, B, C, and D supplies the tooth with food? Pulp cavity is C, yeah, because you have the blood vessels. Which organ secrete a substance which neutralizes hydrochloric acid? So if you're neutralizing HCl from the stomach, this little structure called the pancreas is what's going to release a chemical called, it's a base. You need a base to neutralize an acid or something that is alkaline. So therefore, you are going to use sodium hydrogen carbonate, which is released from D, the pancreas. Which organ is responsible for the digestion of protein only? Stomach, yes. Which of the following are properties of enzymes? All of them, they work at a best at a particular pH. Sorry, they are affected by temperature. So this one is wrong. They work only on one substrate. That is true. So 1 and 3 is B. 13. The process by which undigested food is eliminated from the body is called undigested food. So that is feces. So yes, A. 14. Which of the following combinations show the correct percentage of oxygen and carbon dioxide found in the lungs of a healthy person? So in your lungs, you would have, so a lot of you are saying D, but if you read it again, they said in the lungs. In the atmosphere, the answer would have been D, but inside your lungs, it's going to be B. Your lung will take in 16% of the oxygen, and it will get rid of 4% of carbon dioxide, right? So the key thing here is in the lungs. 15, climbing up a mountain, a group of hikers find that breathing becomes difficult. This is most likely because, so as you go uphill or higher, high altitudes, the air has less oxygen. A. 16 now. Which of the following properties of membranes are required for rapid gaseous exchange? 1, 2, and not 3. So it'll be large surface area to volume ratio. So 1 and 2. Yeah, A. During respiration, the release of energy in a cell occurs when? 17. So when you're releasing the energy, you're breaking down ATP to ADP. When you're storing the energy, you're changing ADP to ATP. So the answer there is B. 18. Which of the following can be deduced from the graph? 18A, you all said. So let's look at the graph. Let's look at the graph. Increase risk of lung cancer, number of cigarettes smoked per day. So as the number of cigarettes smoked per day, the increased risk of lung cancer is seen. So let's see. As the number of cigarettes smoked per day increases, the risk of getting lung cancer increase. 18 is A. Yeah, everybody so far get that. 19. 19. Why do we need transport systems in the human body? You all said B. To transport substances from one part to the other, yes. To produce hormones for coordination, no. To protect the body against diseases, yes.
So it's 1 and 3.
B. Where you all get produce hormones from? The heart and blood and stuff don't produce it, it transports it, but not produce it. Right? 1920. Which label part contracts to pump blood around the body?
C.
C.
At the left ventricle.
Yeah. Look how thick this wall is because it have to pump blood to the aorta, which is to the rest of the body. 21. The diagram, oh gosh, my fingernail getting long. The diagram most likely represents a B. Phagocyte because of the lobed-shaped nucleus. 22. Somebody else read.
Capillaries have very thin walls which have only one layer of cells. This is to allow A. Rapid diffusion of gases and glucose.
Correct.
23. Which of the following vitamins assist in the process of blood clotting? That'll be vitamin K. So that'll be D.
Correct.
24. Which of the following combinations correctly identifies the bone label X, Y, and Z?
X is
Miss.
the largest bone, or the thigh bone, which is the femur. Y is the fibula. Z is the tibia. T for tin. I think I told you all that in class. So the fatter bone is fibula, F for fat. The thinner bone is T for tibia. B. Not B. D. Y points the fat bone, Z points the thin bone. 25 now. Let me hear from Howard.
Yes, miss. Can you repeat the question, please?
Read question 25 to 30 for us, please.
Which of the following occurs when the arm is bent or flexed? A.
So the bicep is going to pull on the, so they say which of the following occurs when the arm is bent. Bicep pulls on radius, tricep pull on ulna, scapula is pulled down, no tricep short. Tricep. Yeah, the answer is bicep pulls on the radius.
Okay.
26.
Can you go down so I can see it? Thanks. Which of the following connects muscle to the bone? D. Is it D or is it B? Wait.
Tendon, A. Muscle to bone, tendons. Ligament, bone to bone. Cartilage is the soft, flexible material which cushions bones, so it's found between, or is found at the tip of bones or between bones.
Yeah. Which of the following allows movement in all directions? D.
Shoulder, yes, that's a ball and socket joint. Elbow is hinge. Ankle is a gliding joint. Knee is a hinge joint. So the ball and socket tend to go in all directions.
Okay. Which of the following sets of constant, Miss, what does that say? I can't see it. Is found in the urine of a healthy person? D.
Healthy person, there's the clue there.
Wait.
So urea is definitely one, salt and water. You all said A. Why is glucose found in a healthy person? That's not right. Why would you urinate glucose?
As if you have diabetes.
That's if you have diabetes, exactly. So the answer is C. Urea, salts, and water. 29.
Okay. Liam noticed that his face is flustered red after playing football. Which of the following processes causes his face to be flushed? C.
Vasodilation. Dilate means to widen. So more blood rushes to the surface. So heat is lost. We will do the skin today as well. 30.
The following label X is
X points. So something that is attached to the hair follicle is a
D. The sweat glands. Wait, no.
sebaceous gland. D. Thanks those who are chatting. D. The sweat gland, how is this one here? That is attached. So we have the sweat gland, which is attached to the sweat, the pore or the opening of the skin. However, the sebaceous gland is secrete oil or sebum, and that one is attached to the hair follicle.
Okay.
Right? So let's go on a break, you all. Now it's 2:38. So let's start back about 2:50. We can start back about 2:50. And I'm going to teach another topic. Our 10-minute break is up. So I'm going to teach another topic, review another topic, and we do some questions as well. Tell me something, you all. What device you all are using? Is it a phone, tablet, computer? Use the chat and tell me what device are you all using for these classes. Now I recommend a laptop or a computer because it's a bigger screen, and also you could have your book out as well. With the phones, they tend to be smaller. Tablets are great too. And I know online classes could be very dreary and weary because you're sitting looking at a screen. Screens emit a light intensity that can actually cause your eyes to become a little more tired. So it's very important, like when I give you all a break, you look away from the screen, you go outside, you look at some greenery or some scenery, you use the toilet to get something to eat, you do a little jumping jacks. I recommend doing like 20 jumping jacks in between so that you can get the blood flowing, the heart pumping. So when you return to the screen, you're a little more awake, a little more alert. All right, most of you are using phones, unfortunately. All right, at least it's something better than nothing. Now with the phones, a lot of you all have that selfie holder. You know, that kind of holder thing that is be stuck at the back. It's good to rest the phone down, have it standing in whatever little selfie holder you all may have, and have your book out as well. So you could jot down notes. You all could actually have a little diary and state what was covered in class, what was taught, what new thing you learned. So you're still writing. It's not like you're just holding the phone and laying in a bed. I don't want you all to turn into little vegetables during this quarantine. Okay, so we're going to go through a topic which was completed in term 1. It's called transport processes or movement of substances inside the body or outside the body. So diffusion, osmosis, and active transport are different types of transport processes because it helps for substances to reach our body and leave our body. So these processes occurs in the cells of our body, or it could actually happen in the outside. like for instance in nature or in the natural environment, it could also occur in. So diffusion is the movement of molecules such as gases, chemicals, ions from high to low concentration until it is evenly distributed. Osmosis deals with the movement of water alone. So it is not the movement of fluid, it is only water. So this does not mean that soft drink or juice can move by osmosis. It is only water. Active transport is the movement of molecules, particles, ions from, look at the difference, low area of concentration to a high area of concentration. All right. So these are the differences are highlighted in red. Now the thing with active transport as well, this one requires ATP or energy to move the substance. All of these, diffusion and osmosis, do not require ATP. So that's also a difference. Now you all may have heard me said what is concentrated, diluted already, but let's just go through what these terms mean. The term concentrated means that there's more solid or solutes dissolved in a liquid. So if it is salt water we're talking about, you have more salt in it than the water itself. That is concentrated. So it is concentrated, is a concentrated salt solution. Dilute means you have more of the liquid or the solvent, another name for liquid, in a container with a solute. So again, you can have salt water, but you can have more water than salt particles dissolved in it. So that is what we call dilute. Or if you have none at all, then it is even more dilute. So you can have a strong dilute solution, which is pure water. You can have a weak dilute solution, which is water with salt, but more water than the salt. Turgid means when water enters a cell, it swells. Flaccid is the opposite. It means water leaves the cell and it shrinks. Now, plasmolysis is something that is only occur in plant cells. This is when the cytoplasm strip away from the cell wall of when a plant cell is placed in a concentrated solution. So this cell here was placed in a dilute solution. Now, look at the structure of the cell. This have a cell wall in it. So all of these are plant cells. So if you put a plant cell in a dilute solution, it swells. Now, if you put an animal cell in a dilute solution, it also swells. However, it could burst because there's no presence of a cell wall. This additional layer actually holds up the structure and supports it. Now, if you put a plant cell in a same concentration of solution, meaning the contents of the cytoplasm is the same as the contents outside, there's not going to be no change in size. All right, so there's no movement in or out. But if you put it in a concentrated solution, it is going to shrink because the water from the cytoplasm leaves the plant cell. So it leaves from high concentration, which is inside, to outside, which is low. Plasmolysis or plasmolized cell means the cell wall or the cytoplasm strips from the cell wall, which is seen here. And this happens when you place the plant cell also in a concentrated solution for a long time. So all the water is going to be drawn out from the cytoplasm to become flaccid and plasmolized. So these are important terms to learn, which could come in multiple choice. So that sums up transport processes. I will also send this to you all. I'm also going to look at photosynthesis again as revision. Any questions so far with those two topics? Okay. Now, photosynthesis is a process that is only occurring in green plants. This process is also known as autotrophic nutrition. This means that plants can automatically make their own food once sunlight is present and once the plant is green. Chlorophyll is the green pigment. So this is the green pigment or color in the leaves. And why do we need chlorophyll is because chlorophyll is what is trap or absorb the sunlight. All right. So for photosynthesis to take place, you need these conditions. Also, you need inorganic materials or raw materials. So to make the food, you need the sunlight, you need the chlorophyll color, but you also need your materials, your raw materials. Inorganic means that these materials exist naturally in the environment. It is not made from a living thing. Inorganic means non-living. So that would have been carbon dioxide and water. Those two exist naturally in the environment. So there were two equations that you all had to learn for photosynthesis, which are the chemical and the word. The chemical is basically 6CO2. Normally the 2 is written like a small 2. Plus 6H2 would give C6H12O6, which stands for glucose. And we have a byproduct, which is oxygen, which will leave the leaf or the plant. The word equation is below here, so I try to write it underneath. So carbon dioxide plus water will give glucose, and now anything that is on this side is what you call the reactants. So what's in blue is the inorganic materials. Or raw materials. The products is what is formed. So in a chemical reaction, you always have reactants and products. So reactants makes a product. So again, reactant is before the arrow, which is the blue. And the product is what is formed from the reaction, and that's what's in green. Okay, so photosynthesis involves two phases. You call it the light-dependent stage, or the light stage, or the light-independent or dark stage, dark reactions. What does light-dependent mean? You need light. You depend on light. Why? Because you are using that sunlight to split water into hydrogen and oxygen. That is what the light from the sun does. Light energy is absorbed by chlorophyll. All right? When light penetrates the leaf, it is going to split water into hydrogen and oxygen, which you all saw that this is the water molecule here. So what we will do is, what happens is the oxygen that is split from the water is going to leave the leaf through pores. The leaf contains tiny holes or stomata where the gases leave or enter. Now this process, since it needs light, does only occur in the daytime when the sun is out. So all them plants outside, once it have sunlight by you all, they are photosynthesizing. Now sometime in the daytime it could be overcast and the sun is not out there. So therefore the plants may not be producing food at that point in time. Light independent stage or dark reaction does not involve the sun, so therefore this could occur in the night. This is the food making stage now, right? So the carbon dioxide, the carbon from the carbon dioxide, now the leaves is taking carbon dioxide gas, which we give off, by the way. They will take that carbon and chemically bind it to the hydrogen which was made in the light stage. So that carbon, hydrogen, and the oxygen from the dioxide is what is going to form glucose, which is an organic compound. So anytime you have an organic compound formed, that is because it was made from something that was living. So plants is a living organism which is making an organic type of food which is called glucose. And glucose can be stored in the plant in different areas such as the leaves, the roots, stems, seed, and fruits. All contain stored food which the plant made. And that is why we call plants producers, because they are making their own food. They are the ones who start up the whole food chain, because without them, other organisms will not have food to feed on. So examples of plants that store food would have been the starchy types of foods. So you have your starches like yam, potato, carrot, pumpkin. Then you have your other types of plants like legumes. They are leguminous plants as well, is stored food. Can someone give me examples of legumes? Besides the starches, you have leguminous plants, which are yoo-hoo, anyone around?
Chana, or like split peas.
Split peas, right?
Lentil.
Lentil. What about beans? Those are peas. What about beans now? Soybean. We have, let's just say, kidney bean. All right, etc. So these also contain stored food which the plant made. And plants also make protein from glucose. So these types of plants also contain protein in it. The starches is purely glucose. Now, with this topic, you all had to learn something called the starch test. The starch test is what proves the, basically starch test proves if a plant is photosynthesizing or producing food in the first place. What is the chemical they use to test for starch?
Iodine solution.
Who? That person talks so soft I can barely hear.
Miss, that is iodine solution.
Iodine is the solution you use to test for starch. So when you all go through your notes, I give you all the steps, and I also show the video in class like last year. Right? You boil the leaf in water first. Nice to remove the wax, to kill all the cells, to stop the enzyme reactions. Then you take it out, you put ethanol in the boiling tube, you boil it again. This is take off the green color, the chlorophyll. Then you take out the leaf again, and then you dry it, and then you add the iodine drops to it. And what color will form when starch is present? All of this is multiple choice. What color is formed if starch is present when you add iodine? That came in a multiple choice. It turns
A brownish kind of black color.
blue, black. So it changed from brown to blue-black, which will mean starch is present. Let me show you all. All right, so starch test in leaf results. So here's a leaf. The area that turned brown, you realize that's where they had aluminum over the leaf. That's because they block off the sunlight here. So this area will not photosynthesize. But the tip of the leaf is exposed to the sun as well as the base. So since it is photosynthesizing, it will have starch stored in the plant cells. So therefore, when you apply iodine to it, it is going to turn blue-black. If it remain brown, it do not have starch. If it turn blue-black, it have starch. This is another example as well. The area that have the chlorophyll undergoing photosynthesis, not the outside here, which is white, hence no chlorophyll. So when you put the iodine, the area that had the green color would have had starch present. So therefore it turns black. The rim of the leaf did not make food, so therefore it remains brown, which is the color of iodine. All right. So that's it there for photosynthesis. Any questions with photosynthesis? I'm trying to make these pinpoint, concise notes one page so that you all could also add to it if you need to. All right, next topic. Let's jump into human skin. This is actually covered in term 2. But it's a very short topic, so I'll still complete it. Now, the human skin is basically the largest organ in the human body. Now, we did this when we did excretion because we sweat. Skin releases sweat, which is a form of excretion because sweat contains urea, which is the toxic metabolic waste that we need to get rid of. The human skin also regulates temperature. So when it's hot or cold, the skin will go through changes to allow, if it's hot, to cool the body, or if it's cold, to keep the body warm. Now this is a type of homeostasis, which is called Thermo Regulation. So anytime you are regulating the temperature, it's called Thermo Regulation. And homeostasis because it's the maintenance of the internal conditions of the human body. Now you have different layers in the skin, which is 3 main layers. Top layer, which is the epidermis. Now this has something called a basement membrane. Let me bring up a picture. So this top layer is this outline here that is dark. Notice there's this kind of white thin line that curves under. This is the basement membrane. Now a lot of you all know about what is called melanin, which is your skin pigment, that brown pigment. So we tend to have, since we are living in a tropical island, we tend to have a lot of melanin in the skin because it protects us from getting damage from the skin, the sun, the UV rays from the sun. Mixing up words there, boy. So too much sunlight can actually cause skin cancer. So why we have melanin is to prevent or reflect and bounce back that UV rays so that not too much of the UV rays will penetrate the skin and damage the skin. All right. This second layer now is called the dermis. Here's what houses all these little structures here. Tissues and muscles and blood vessels and nerve cells, sweat gland, all of that is in the dermis. The last layer is the fatty layer, which contains your stored fat. You store fat under the skin to insulate the body which is to keep the body warm again. And also, it's a energy reserve, because fat can be broken down and used as energy when your glucose levels is low. So that's just a picture. Now the basement membrane is also called the Malpighian layer, and that is what contains melanocytes. Melanocytes is the name of the cell that produces the brown pigment called melanin. So all we have to know is melanin is found in the Malpighian or the basement membrane. All right. The middle layer, well, that's the dermis, and this will have like the sweat gland, blood vessels. You have your nerve cells, your muscle, hair follicle, etc. Bottom layer, what is the sweat? The fat, or also known as the subcutaneous layer. So what is thermoregulation? Thermoregulation is when you regulate the temperature. So the skin does that, and this is an example of homeostasis. Homeostasis is controlled by the brain, and the part of the brain which controls homeostasis is the hypothalamus. Let me put that in bold. So if now your normal body temperature is supposed to be 37 degrees Celsius. If it exceeds that or it's too hot, these three things will happen, which is what you call negative feedback mechanisms. It will basically correct or try to return the temperature of the body to this normal figure here, 37. So one thing that happens is something called vasodilation. Dilate means to widen. So if your blood capillaries widen, more blood will travel closer to the surface of the skin, and that will allow heat to be lost. So it cools the body in that way. Also, when it's hot, your skin is going to release sweat. Where's the sweat being released from? The sweat gland through the sweat pore. So when you sweat and breeze blow on the sweat, it will evaporate, which cools the body. And then thirdly, the hair erector muscle is going to relax, which will allow the hair to lie flat. When the hair is lying flat, no heat is being trapped. However, the opposite happens in cold temperatures. So the opposite of vasodilate means vasoconstrict, which is vasoconstriction, which is when the blood capillaries get narrow or shrink. So less blood will flow to the surface of the skin, and that will retain the heat in the body to keep the body warm. Obviously, there will be no sweating because you don't want to cool the body at this point. However, something called goosebumps can, goosebump is when the skin, the pores or it starts to raise. That is because you're trying to trap as much heat from outside the body. Hair erector muscle will do the opposite, which is to contract. So if it contracting now, it is not going to lie flat, but it is going to stand. So the hair will stand, and that will trap heat around it. And then lastly, in cold temperatures, sometimes you may shiver. So that is the body muscles contracting and relaxing very vigorously, which has caused the body to shiver, because more movement will generate more heat. Right, so for cold temperature, you have 5 changes that happen. For hot temperature, there are 3 changes. Any questions with the skin? And this is the diagram here for you all to learn to label. Okay, we have no questions with the skin so far. All right. So I will also send this to you all now. Do you all want me to upload these to Google Drive as well? Some people may not use, you all know you could use WhatsApp on your computer too, right? So that whatever file I sent, you could just download it straight to your computer instead of going onto Google Drive. Okay, so let's do some paper twos. So everyone's supposed to have this booklet at least. We are going to do something from 2016. Jan 2016. Let's try to complete this paper by 4. So I'm giving you all some time, skim through it. And we'll correct it together as a class. I'm giving you all 5, let's say until half 3, to see how far you all can reach in this paper. Some questions was already completed in class. So this is January 2016. Correct the paper. Now, when I'm going through the answers, I'm going to basically type in the messages, type in the answers. If you want to share your answer, you can also unmute it and share or chat. I'll let you know if it's correct. However, you can take down my answers as well if you don't have it. So figure 1 is a diagram for section through a molar tooth. I'm getting some questions from people on WhatsApp. They're saying they don't have the book. The one who asked me that is somebody who never used to attend class. Like I say a million times, all those who attended classes purchased the book in hard copy and the multiple choice. So all these people who now realize, oh my God, HSB important and they have to do it, and you know they have a paper too, and they can't do GC bio again. Guess what? Those who came to class and followed through all the classes, they have all the materials. So whoever need to get booklet and stuff, contact Mr. Lyndon. Right. So structure B is what you all have for that one? Some people said crown. Okay. I would say crown or enamel. Right. Right. Function now. So if you said enamel, because crown is basically the visible part of the teeth. If you say enamel, the function of the enamel is to protect the tooth. Next question. Crown restore broken teeth? No, better you go with protect. In figure 1, label A represents a cavity. Say 2 factors that are necessary for tooth decay. All right, so but 2 factors that are necessary for tooth decay are sugary foods and bacteria in the mouth. So if you don't wash the mouth properly and you have bacteria in it, right, so not brushing regularly, you will allow bacteria to build up in your mouth. If you're eating a lot of sugary foods, especially, the bacteria will then go and break down the sugary food, which just cause acid to form, and that will basically corrode and erode the enamel of the teeth. That's the answer. State two measures other than change in diet that would reduce formation of cavities. So other than change in diet, so brush teeth regularly, and what else? What else can you do to prevent the formation? Check dentist regularly. Yeah. Also visit dentist regularly. Also floss teeth after meals and use mouthwash as well. No, proper diet is not an answer because it specifically said other than change in diet. Moving on. Figure 2 shows the population of male and female who either have AIDS or do not have AIDS. Which age group is most severely affected by AIDS? So you're looking for the one with the biggest bar. You all said 20 to 24. Let's see. 20 to 24 have the most. Okay, oh yes, I'm seeing 20 to 24, yes. So the dark region means that they have AIDS. I'm now seeing the dark, so look at the key and that will tell you. So 20 to 24. Based on the data presented in the figure, which population, male or female, has more persons suffering with AIDS in the 45 to 69 age? So look for 45 to 69. So 45 to 69 is here. Which gender have suffered mostly from AIDS? Females, yes. Predict the socio-economic future of the population represented in figure 2. Your answer should consist of 3 predictions. So what will happen to the socio-economic future if it is you have people from age 20 to 24 mostly diagnosed with AIDS? Look at all this age bracket here. You could say from 10 all the way to 34. That age bracket is like, working individuals. So think of socio-economic factors now. So the Working class will be reduced. Is less, therefore this will lead to less development that's 1. 2, government will have to spend more money on healthcare. There's a kind of economic factor there. Who could give another one? Think of it. Come on, we have plenty of questions to go through. You could actually break this up into 2 points here. So you could say the age group which belong to the workforce is lower, is lessened. And then you can say this is another point. So the age group which belong to the workforce is lessened, so jobs will not be performed as normal. And then you could go on to our next point and say this will lead to less development of a country. Because if you don't have people like garbage collectors, if you don't have people working in supermarkets, or if you don't have people working in government agencies, then you're not going to get your service. So therefore, the development of the country as a whole will reduce. Next one. C. Explain 2 factors that may have contributed to the reduction in both the incidence of and death rates from infectious disease since 1900. 2 factors that may have contributed to the reduction in both the incidence of and death rates. Anyone got that answer? This is something we did already. Are waiting for an answer from somebody? Or are they waiting for answers from me? Chat, quiet. All right, so 2 factors that may have, okay, again, the answer. So what is something that will reduce the spread of an infectious disease? 2 factors. Incidence mean persons getting the disease. Okay, so read it over again. 2 factors that may have contributed to the reduction in getting the disease, that is the first part, and
Social distancingness.
yeah, social. Now this is HIV, yeah. So this one different. This one you can't get HIV or AIDS from somebody by touching or talking to them, or that is not an airborne type of virus. So you could say persons. Let me check the chat. Starting to get some answers. More education on the disease. Yes, more education. Persons become more aware. Why am I not able to type now? Okay, so people became more aware and more knowledgeable about HIV and AIDS. Also, there's antiretroviral drugs available to reduce the spread of HIV. Also, there's the implementation of many contraceptive, long time and had too much contraceptive methods, and persons are choosing partners wisely and only limit the number of partners, right? So these are the answers here. Feel free to add to it. Table 2, question 2, complete table 1, indicating whether the vitamin is water soluble. Condoms, which is a contraceptive method, do prevent the spread of HIV. So yeah, by using condoms could prevent that. So I should actually said, why can't I edit this? Okay. Right. Let me take off the word many. Okay, basically with the contraceptive method, it's just the condom that is prevent the spread of HIV. Alright, so you're telling me which one water soluble, which one is fat soluble. B is water soluble, C is water soluble, D is fat soluble. So the only one that is fat soluble there is D. This one is water. And this one is also water. Name two elements which make up protein molecules other than oxygen and hydrogen. Nitrogen and carbon. State one function of protein in human body. We can say makes enzymes. What else? What else you all have? Protein is used to build and repair tissues, yeah? Cameron eats a slice of pizza and drinks a glass of guava juice. After this meal is digested, which sugar will most likely be present in the bloodstream? This one easy. What is the name of the sugar? Saranta, give an answer. What's the name of the sugar? Glucose. Generally, animal products contain saturated fats and plant products contain unsaturated fats. Why would a slice of avocado be a better source of fatty acid than Cameron's slice of pizza? Okay, so avocado contain unsaturated fats which can be easily digested and broken down by lipase. Since it is a natural fat product made by plants. I find it everyone slowly starting to disappear. Like class over already. I want a little talk, or it's so quiet. So somebody read part 3, please.
Okay, I'll read it. The
Great.
structure of the small intestine allows for maximum nutrient absorption after Cameron's snack is digested. Identify two structures on the walls of the small intestine and suggest how these structures facilitate maximum absorption.
Okay. So the structure of the small intestine allows for maximum nutrition after Cameron's. What is the two structures on the wall of the small intestine? Well, definitely villus. Structures, not structures is something on the wall of the intestine. Let me get that diagram. Wall of ileum. Don't forget that villus structure we looked at. So basically, this is the wall of the intestine. You have villi, mucus. You have your capillaries, your lymph vessels. All right, you also have goblet cells. So those are the two I'm going to write. Villus and goblet cells. How absorption is facilitated? All right, so basically, to answer this one, you have to explain what the villus does. So the villus increases the surface area so nutrients can be absorbed easily. All right. Goblet cells now secrete mucus which moisten the lining of the wall, so movement of nutrients is easily taken away. A moist lining does allow substances to travel easier than if it's dry. All right, so that's the answer. By what process are the nutrients from Cameron's meal absorbed through the intestinal wall? So we're moving from an area of high to low and it's molecules, food molecules. So therefore that will be diffusion, explanation. So nutrients in the small intestine is at a high concentration than the blood. Therefore, it moves into the bloodstream, which is in a low concentration. Right. I never had to type on a PDF. 3. The nervous system and endocrine controls the activities of the human body. Say 2 activities that are controlled by the hypothalamus in the brain. So what does the hypothalamus control? Heart beat and not heartbeat, that is medulla oblongata. So we can say thermoregulation, which we just did, and osmoregulation. Glucagon and insulin are 2 hormones secreted by the pancreas, which are responsible for regulating the glucose levels in the blood. Complete the table. So converts glycogen to glucose. Which hormone is that? Glycogen to glucose. That will be glucagon. Secreted when blood glucose levels are low. This one is insulin, secreted when blood sugar is high. Action of the hormone converts glucose to glycogen, right? So I'm leaving the rest for you all to complete for homework. And I also want you all to do one multiple choice, which I'm going to send you all a paper that no one has here. So I'll send that. Paper 1 in the chat. And you also finish off this paper, this 2016 paper for us. Any questions? I will also upload these things to Google Drive just in case nobody have it or have WhatsApp or for whatever reason. I'll also send you homework on the chat as well. All right, well, since no one have any questions, I'll end the class. Next week, I'm teaching 4 other topics and same thing where we finish the presentations. So next week, I'll tell you all who came first, second, and third. All right, so enjoy your evening.